Hello and welcome to another fantastic week of Formula 1 racing here on SLR. We pride ourselves on delivering top on-track action such as overtakes.
Oh, Danny on the inside, sorry, Danny on the inside.
And of course, where would we be without some crashes and drama?
Pace around this track.
Oh, and spinning is Canopus. That's his microlander up the inside. No, Danny.
And lots more. What started out as a fun idea quickly developed and grew into one of the most influential and recognizable online F1 leagues across the F1 platform. Every new season saw more and more big names join the roster, all battling harder and harder to claim the coveted SLR title. This season will be like no other before it. The strongest lineup we have ever seen. Old champions rejoining to battle the new top dogs of SLR. All of the tiers in SLR are fielding their respective strongest to date, with much to fight for and achieve. But if you have come to witness Titans battle Titans, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Tier 1. So here we are on board the Ferrari of Mr. Jensen 89 as he's about to start a lap of Paul Ricard in France. So heading down into turn 1, difficult corner this, a blind apex. In between these two curbs is kind of where you want to brake. Dropping down to the 4th, then early up into 5th, not running too wide here or you will invalidate, and you want to avoid that inside curb as well, otherwise it will spin your car around. 15-meter board is your next brake zone, a little dab on the brakes, trying to carry as much speed as possible around this section. You can win or lose an awful lot of lap time if you get that right or wrong. Heading down into the main straight here, DRS activation zone, a very popular overtaking zone for obvious reasons, but his eyes will be firmly fixed on this next difficult brake zone. Just after the 100-meter boards, you want it hard on the brakes, down in the 4th and even in the 3rd, short shifting up the gears here, not too greedy on the traction on that curb or it'll throw you off. And then yes, it's just hanging on until as we go around, I think this is Mistral Street, as they call it, flat out around this long right-hander, and then you can brake much later into this looping right-hander, slowly just letting the car, the natural retardation of the gears to slow your car down, and then as the curb starts just on the left there is your brake zone, slowly twisting it in and winding it into that late apex. Lap almost over, just as the blue starts on the track is kind of like your brake zone, gliding the car around, heavy on the brakes, short shifting up as well to control that traction, DRS activated, and that completes the lap of Paul Ricard in France.
Hello and welcome back. After, I think, a month of time, we are finally live again with SLR Tier 1 Season 7, I think it is. And we are here for the 5th round of the season in France with a 19-car grid here in Tier 1. And with 2 commentators, just like before the break, it is me, Timo, and along with me, as always, Tara. Hello.
It is me. We are back in SLR Tier 1. It's been a while. But welcome back to everyone watching, and welcome back to our drivers as well, who we have very much missed over the last few weeks. And yeah, as you mentioned, we got a 19-car grid, which is pretty good considering we've been off for, 5 or 6 weeks, or however long it's been. And this should be a fun one. We got some, we got a real. I think we have a more mixed field than we've had for a little while in Tier 1 here. We got a lot of reserves in. But some of the reserves are very fast indeed, so they'll be mixing things up towards the front. We do have the old favourites as well, of course, and one of the old favourites, Bailey Thompson, has put in a very fast lap as his first one, 29.0, which is really, really good. This should be a fun one, though. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, we've got loads of reserves on the grid, just going through it. I think Kurs, Fox, I'm not sure. No, I think he's Tier 1. Tor, Eversnaxolotl, Pixel, Tipsy, whoever put his wing setup in there.
Yeah, let us know if anyone knows in chat who that is. Let us know, because we don't. Mr. 610.
Yeah. And also Good Dragon and Iceman. So like, it's gonna be a fun one. I mean, I barely remember the first half of the first 4 races, but now we even have a bunch of different drivers. Should mix it up well. And as you say, Bailey is on the provisional front row, 6 minutes into this qualifying session. We've got Astro Boys in P2, just barely edging out Jensen, who is, you know, he's hung over, as he has put it. He sent everyone a song about it, how he was feeling, and now we know. But it doesn't seem like that has made him rusty, or that has made him slow at all, or that he's rusty, because he is currently in P3, even though he hasn't started this game since the 20th of September, is what he told me. So
I was gonna say, I wish I could do a 29.5 when I was hungover on the first lap of qualifying. That's impressive.
Yeah. It's the big sandbags. And then we've got our course as well. I don't even know if did I mention him in the reserves? I think I did.
You mentioned him in the reserves. Yep, you did.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in P4 right now on the medium, so he probably will be able to improve a little bit on that when he puts on the softs. Even though I don't know if he actually wants to do that, because I'm not familiar with the strategy right now. Like, France should be soft medium, right?
It's soft medium at a stretch. Safer is soft hard, and probably fastest is medium hard.
Okay.
But obviously medium, you give up a lot of time in terms of qualifying. That's a pretty fast lap on the mediums from Kurs, 30.0. It's not as fast as the lap he put in yesterday in Tier 2 on the mediums at the end of the session, which was a 29.4, which is an insane lap. And I think he qualified 3rd on the grid or 4th on the grid or somewhere like that with that lap. But my expectation is if he's gone out early on the mediums, he'll go out late on the softs. And I think we'll be challenging for pole position.
Yeah. Let us know if the stream is running fine, by the way. Also, you please let me know if someone in chat says otherwise, because I don't have the chat up. We haven't streamed from this setup for like 4 weeks, so, you know, there might be something broken, but we just need to know before we can fix it. Right now, I'm not sure if Kurs wants to improve on this lap, because it is a good one, but there's still loads of drivers coming. I mean, from P13 down, everyone hasn't put in a time, so those could still contest Kurs and put him out of the top 10, potentially. Also, Copy now with a pretty solid time on those medium tires, 2/10 off of Kurs. He is 5th for now, but puts himself ahead of Fox, for example, who's on softs. So solid for him.
And Etney about to come across the line as well, and I suspect this will be towards the front end of the grid on the soft tyres. He's going to cross the line and do... he lifted there, I think. He wanted to give his teammate some... No, never mind. I don't know why he lifted, but in any case he did. And he is P6 on a 30.5, so he'll want to improve on that. And yeah, I would think probably that Kurz will be knocked out of the top 10 with a 30-0, so I think he'll try and improve on the softs.
Yeah, very likely. Etni maybe just doing some laps lifting towards the end to get that start on the medium hards, you say, is probably the fastest strategy in a vacuum, so that might just be what he wants to set himself up for by lifting towards the end of that time, so he can still beat it with mediums, and if he has copies pace at least, then he would be able to do it, since his time is behind copies.
Icewind about to cross the line as well, and this looks a better lap. It's a very good lap, in fact. P2 on a 29.0 from Icewind, so
man,
that is very strong.
Tier 4 sending its best.
Yeah, it's true. Icewind showing his credentials and putting in a very good lap indeed.
Absolutely great one from him. Nice to see him again in Tier 1, of course. Just a little joke. He does absolutely show his hand with that one. That was brilliant. But the question is, how well will it stack up against the others? He wasn't able to beat Bailey with that, and Bailey is probably a little bit uncomfortable having someone within 300ths of a second of himself, and now he is making his way through that curvy third sector with 2 corners to go to improve on his time potentially in that green Aston Martin. Now just needs to get the last corner right, and it looks like he is solid on the power, even on the curb, gets good grip out of the corner, goes across the line, and he's gonna improve, and he puts himself into the 28th with 28.951. Good time from him. Provisional pole by just about a 10th, with 6 minutes to go in the session. Well done from Bailey, set himself up well.
Kerr's going for another lap on mediums, which is very interesting, so he's not worried at all about what the tyres are doing. He's going to put another lap on mediums anyway. You only get 1 set of mediums in qualifying, so this is the second run on these tyres. A couple of hundredths down after Sector 1. I'll see if he's able to improve on that. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, but it's not too bad. We don't have too many other people on laps at the moment either. We've got Pixel out there. Tipsy's just finished a lap. We've got Thor out there. I don't know what his status is, but track pretty quiet at the moment. We've got 6 minutes left and probably a little bit more of the session. That's very wide in Senior, and and through the right-hander at Le Beausset. He got very sideways indeed. That might be the end of this lap.
Yeah, and we're seeing we're seeing a little bit of a one-off livery there with the white Red Bull Honda of Pixel. We are obviously, we don't have a Japanese Grand Prix in real life. They still put out this special Japanese livery, and Pixel is running it, of course, as it is in the F1 game for this patch. Is it in? Yeah, Meepo is. Oh, Meepo. I don't think I mentioned him earlier, but Meepo is in the other white Red Bull, the White Bull.
Yep. So good stuff from him. Kurz did improve on that lap, which was surprising because he was very sideways. 29.9. Who else we got? Astro, is he on a lap? He is not on a lap. He's coming into the pits, in fact. So he decided to abandon. And
I mean, it's a little bit calm on track right now. We've got 4 minutes, and I think in about 30 seconds we'll hit the point where drivers will start slowly rolling out of the pits again for their final runs. Etni and Fox even making their ways out now, and there's a confirmation to our suspicions from earlier. Etni on those medium tires now looks to beat that mediocre 30.5 he's done early in the session, and now he wants to improve on that on those medium tires to set himself up really well. With a good strategy, he might, his aim will be to become the lead medium runner. He needs to beat the 29.9 outer course for that, and unless he improves, of course, same goes for Copy, 30.2 the target time there. So Etni certainly going to be a threat in the race if he gets a good strategy. Bailey will want to defend from the others to keep his provisional pole going. Icewind on an outlap, and
sorry to interrupt, we have Vexit with a purple first sector as well. He's halfway down the Mistral Straight right now into the chicane, gets the first bit chopped off perfectly.
Wow,
he was inches from an invalidation there, but got away with it somehow.
Millimeter perfection from him on the track limits there. That was really, really tight on both of those. I have no clue how it wasn't invalid, in fact, and now he's got 1 sector to go.
And a purple sector 2 as well. So this could be a very special lap indeed for Vexit. He runs wide through Le Beausset as you're supposed to do. Cuts onto the curb and again takes a very wide swing for this final left-hander. And very sideways, that will cost him a lot of time as he comes down towards the last couple of corners. And he abandons and will do another lap. So Vexit deciding that one is not good enough. He wants another chance at it.
Yeah, championship leader now in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have a time on the board yet. That is why he's currently sitting in P17. And now he has effectively time for one run after a quick outlap, and that one needs to be good. He has shown some real precision on the track limits in this lap, but he can't invalidate the final run or it would be a disaster. Also, another driver that's in a little bit of a pickle here is Danico. Does he have a quali ban or something, or why hasn't he put in a time? He doesn't, right?
Not as far as I know. I don't know what the situation is with him.
Oof.
That's a very curious one. How long have we got in the session? Let's have a look. So 2:28 plus whatever time there is. And yeah, Danny coming out of the pits right now. You can see him on the mini-map. So he does have time to put in another lap. And that is what he's going to do. Icewind is halfway down the back straight. I missed what his first split was.
Oh, it was up to 10s. Icewind absolutely flying. Unless, of course, you know, telemetry might be lying, but he's going to come across the other timing beam right now, exactly 2:10 on his time, and that would put him in contention for that provisional pole position, as Bailey Thompson's got less than that of a gap. Now just hold it together in the third sector, Ice, and you might set yourself up for a miracle pole run. Let's see.
Yep, through the last couple of corners, deep into the left-hander again. This is where Vexit got it all wrong last lap. Again, just very, very close to invalidating, but not quite there. Through the last couple of corners, this could be provisional pole from the man from Finland. And he's going to cross the line very shortly indeed. DRS enabled. Looked a neat and tidy last couple of corners. He crosses the line and does indeed go provisional pole by 0.05 of a second.
What a great lap from Icewind. Puts himself right atop the timing boards. Now, Bailey needs to counter that. He is currently making his way through the first sector. We're waiting for the sector split. Bailey now, of course, has seen that. He knows that the pressure's on. He needs to beat that lap from Ice. I didn't get the sector splits. Did you?
He was a 10th down on his lap. Exactly a 10th down. So he's got work to do.
Yeah, he's got time to find. That's going to be tough. I mean, he needs to somehow carve out a 10th in the last two sectors of this, or the dream of the pole position at Paul Ricard might just be an afterthought for Bailey Thompson. Now, Astro and Hungover Jensen are also on outlaps of their own. Jensen is just starting into turn 1. You saw his outlap earlier, and now we're having a little bit of a look on him doing it in action.
And Kurz is on another medium lap, so his third medium lap of the session. He's a 10th up in the first sector, and getting a little bit of a slipstream there from Pixel as well down the back straight. We'll keep an eye on that. Bailey is half a 10th down in the second sector split, coming through the last couple of corners now. Got a couple of Mercedes in front of him. Astro needs to get a little bit of a wriggle on. He's about to start his lap, but Bailey about to cross the line, and we'll see exactly what this is, and he's not happy with it. He's wiggling, and he has, in fact, abandoned.
Yep.
And it will be at best second on the grid for Bailey Thompson.
Yeah, one unhappy Aston Martin. The other one is currently making his way through Sector 2. He's down 2/10 on his time, as Kurz, and now needs to improve on that. Etney, and he goes off track again, does Kurz. Didn't invalidate though, so absolutely juggling with the track limits and the invalidation system. Oh, and that's
an invalidation though. Yeah, that was a horrible penultimate corner, unfortunately.
Yeah, so what's...
he got that all wrong.
What are the others doing? So, Etney, as I wanted to say, 30.2, his session is over. He's just behind Copy, who's still on a run. No, he's not. So Copy is done with this as well. Jensen coming through the final corner. He's up 2/10. He's showing what a hungover man can do. Across the line. And there's going to be 29.3, I believe. 0.2 even, third on the grid, man. I think that's his best qualifying of the season. He should be drunk more often.
That's a very good lap from Jensen. He's leapfrogged Astro Boys into third
place.
Oh
my God, Danny!
The fastest time. I should have been across Danny. What's Vexit's situation? Is he's still on a lap? 49.5 second sector. I think that's half a second or so down from the best times, but he is on mediums, of course. And Vexit coming through the last couple of corners. But Danny putting in a fantastic lap there and denying Icewind what would have been a... I don't know how many pole positions he's had, actually. Good stuff from Vexit. P5 on mediums.
God,
It's a very good lap.
Insane time. insane. So yeah, that's your qualifying session. The first after that long break. Was the stream fine? My OBS is giving me like a warning thingy. Was it fine?
It looked fine to me.
Okay.
Let us know in chat if it wasn't fine.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it now and it seems completely okay. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that that is the case. We still don't know who 610 is, by the way. Let's have a look. See if I can find out in chat.
So, I mean, this qualifying session, Danny going from 0 to hero in that last lap. I had actually completely forgotten about him still being on a run. I was very caught up with, Bailey, Icewind, Jensen, and then Danny just comes out of nowhere and snatches it away from Icewind by only 100th of a second precisely. Very well done from the Ferrari there, and Vexit might just be the true winner of this qualifying session, as he's gonna start his race from P5 on potentially a superior strategy. Only 4 soft runners ahead of himself that are gonna struggle due to tire wear, so he's set up perfectly and looks in good shape to extend his championship lead.
Yep, certainly is, and yeah, good stuff from him on the medium. That's very fast indeed. And one footnote, by the way, Mr. 610 is an imposter. He's a friend of somebody in the lobby, and he's been asked to sign up the normal way instead of just joining random league races. So
Rain!
Oh,
My man Vexit does not use the weather forecast apparently.
hang on a sec. The people qualified on mediums. Why? Oh no.
I mean,
That's
Whether-
Vexit putting the crying emoji in chat. I forgot about it.
and he's not the only
Oh,
one.
no.
The Williams boys have done the same. Who else? Kurz has done the same. I think we had 4 medium starters. And, well, they're not gonna start on softs, let's put it like that. And if they are, suicidal. So we're gonna get a full intermediate grid for this race. That may be even forwards, but it looks more intermediate to me. And
Yeah, looks like light rain.
yeah, and I mean that kind of takes a bit of strategy out of it, especially in connection to the qualifying session. But it should still give us some good racing. That third sector, it's gonna feel like you're driving a GT3 car.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long the rain lasts and whether it dries up at any point. And yeah, it is intermediates by the looks of things. So that's what we're going to get at the start of this race. Should be a fun one. It does mean, yeah, Vexit, that medium's time notwithstanding, is going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. He's got a few cars to clear before he gets all the way to the front. But we know that if anyone can, he can.
Absolutely. So this is looking like it's gonna be a good one. Also, Pixel and Tipsy are in the top 10. Wait, is that right? Am I Shame
No,
on
Pixel-
me, I didn't notice.
Pixel and Tipsy, yeah, no, they are towards the front, and I think that's, as much as anything else, I think that's a function of what the grid is, like in terms of the number of reserves that we have from other tiers. There were much bigger gaps than there have been in the past in Tier 1, but still a very creditable
Yeah.
qualifying nonetheless from both of them.
Yeah, I just thought that if that happened, I would have noticed, but I haven't. So I guess shame on me. Well, credit to both of them, putting themselves in the top 10. Very, very respectable. And Danny already pushing the limits. A little bit of limit testing going on there in Senior, seeing where the car will carry him. And in this case, it carried him right onto the blue parking lot.
Yeah, certainly did. And yeah, we got a couple of people from the from 2S in chat, so hi to Vito and Bant. And we're going to get this race going very shortly indeed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put it like that. I think we have well, this race could be very exciting because it's a rain race. We've got Danny, who is in this season so far absolutely struggling for consistent results. He keeps crashing, I think, if I remember that correctly. We've got Icewind, who isn't the least consistent driver. That's a really mean way of saying it, but he tends to get caught up in incidents. And Bailey also, he sometimes doesn't get the finish he desires. Now we've got the 3 of them in the top 3 spots, and every one of them has got something to prove about being able to capitalize on good qualifying results, and 27 laps separate them from glory. Let's see what's gonna happen. Iceman gonna take the outside line into turn 1 likely, and Danny will try and defend that in his Ferrari. We're waiting for the starting lights, and finally, after 4 weeks, we're finally gonna go racing again. As we go green in France, and it looks like a pretty good getaway from Danico as he already gaps. Oh no, there's a big crash in the back, and there's a Red Bull retired, and also Jensen's in the wall, and it is absolute disaster for Mercedes is dead as well. Astro's off, Jensen's off, Copy, McKenna, Meepo. Oh my god, I didn't even get to call the start. What the hell?
That was an incredible start. There were 2 separate accidents, completely separate from what I could see. McKenna and Meepo in the background, and then Copy, Jensen, and a couple of others, including Astro Boys, towards the front of the grid. Not sure what happened. I didn't get a good look, but I think people were squeezing down the straight, and when you do that, especially in the newer versions of the F1 games, you occasionally come a cropper, and that was exactly what happened. And we do have a full safety car, unsurprisingly. We have Jensen without any sort of a front wing whatsoever. We have 3 cars out of the race having lost wheels. That was a pretty explosive return to Tier 1 racing.
A full 80 meters! Amazing! Yeah, so we're waiting for the safety car to pick us up. The other way around, the safety car's waiting for the grid. And then, yeah, we'll have a few laps of safety car. Obviously, there won't be any pit stops apart from the expected, reparations on the cars. That will have to be done, because there was quite some carbon fiber.
Yeah, and Meepo and Makendo was the first incident, fin on fin action, as Chief says in chat, and that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah,
but it does mean that Pixel's up to P6 already. Vexit, by the way, got a fantastic start. I'm not exactly sure how he ended up behind Kurz rather, but he got a very good start.
I'm very sure he had to brake for Jensen, because Jensen went off and Jensen was right ahead of him. So that was probably something to do with that. And that was obviously not how anyone wanted the start to go. And I was seeing the pit stop, so those drivers get a little bit of a do-over, but not from the position they qualified in. Of course, Jensen and Astro gonna try and round up the field from the last position with 1 lap fresher tires. What an amazing advantage. There goes the new front wing to hunt the others down with.
Yeah, some idiot in chat saying potentially hards to the end. It looks like it's raining a little bit too hard for that. I don't know I don't know when it's likely to stop raining, or if it's likely to stop raining even.
There's not... Okay, there is a little bit of rain. I don't even know how my particles are set up, so I don't know how bad the rain is, but it looks like fairly light. It could stop, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it could well stop, but it's certainly light rain conditions at the moment, and a couple of laps under the safety car, I would suspect, are not enough to change that. It's pretty solidly raining from what I can see. I don't know if we have different settings, but yeah, it's definitely raining.
Yeah, there's certainly still rain, but I think it's on the weaker end, and Danny is definitely giving me some anxieties here by warming his tires. I'm just too scared to do that. I would always think that I'm gonna throw it off the road, but that's why I'm not driving right now. That's why Danny's leading the race and not me. And we also have the penalties, of course, for Pixel and Anthony. I don't know if we mentioned, but yeah, that's unfortunate. 5 seconds he will have to be served come their pit stops, because of course we can only take them off if they haven't been served towards the end before the end of the race, but they will have to pit again, and that's when they will be put onto their race times. Unlucky for the 2 of them. Big shame. They gained positions, but yeah, it won't really matter. Mari and Sonny both gained 5 positions. We haven't mentioned them today at all. They weren't really doing qualifying seriously. I think they were basically practicing. I saw someone doing 7 laps on his tires out of the 2 of them. And, a little bit of a warm-up. And now trying to make their way up the order in the McLarens.
Yep, absolutely right. Bant's mentioning in chat how the two people that keep complaining about being slower 1-2 at the moment. Yep, absolutely. Danny and Icewind. Also, why does the 2021 version of this track have 2020 Expo ads still? I think the 2020 Expo is in 2021 for, reasons to do with COVID.
Go.
So, like Euro 2020 or,
or for
the Olympics, that sort of thing.
Yeah, or for the same reason that that FIFA 2022 releases in 2021. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, like the Euro 2020 is very likely, as you say. And I think one more lap of safety car action in parentheses. And then we're gonna go racing again. The whole field is grouped up again. And that safety car restart, Danny's gonna dictate the pace in that one. I think he can basically go as soon as they pass the final corner of the circuit. And then if he gets a good timing on it, the others will still be in the corner and can't directly react to him accelerating away, and then Danny might get away with a pretty solid gap at that restart, and maybe some people will be caught napping. It's going to be interesting. Keep your eyes on that safety car in this lap as expected.
Yeah, we had a 2-lap shootout last night in the Tier 2 race, and Kurz, who was at the front, waited a long time and then sprinted halfway down the straight towards the last couple of corners, or the curvy straight towards the last couple of corners, and caught everyone napping. So Danny will be hoping to do the same thing. A different situation, of course. This is only lap 3, and he's starting now to create a gap. Are we going to see anyone run into the back of anyone else under safety car? It's an SLR tradition. I don't wonder if we're going to see it today.
Anyone wants to unlap himself? Bans? Oh no, he's in chat. Never mind. Iceman in PA2 is he's getting the flashbacks. And so we've got 2 Ferrari-powered cars leading the charge, and then we have, they are pursued by 2 Aston Martins with Bailey and Kurz, and it looks like Danny has backed them off a little bit, but now he goes racing, and it looks like Bailey Thompson is just going to get the jump on Iceman, who might have been napping a little bit at that start. But Bailey is not able to put himself alongside now, under braking, sticks his nose in, doesn't get the move done. Now maybe under threat from his teammate. Kurz in the other Aston Martin, maybe going to lunge down the inside towards turn 3. We've got a yellow, and it looks like Marian's off, so one of the McLaren has been lost in the safety car restart. Kurz not finding the way past. Fox overtaking Tipsy. Those two have got a rich history and always enjoy fighting each other, I've heard. 610 is exploring the off-track. And Jensen is just gaining so many positions. Up to P13 already.
It was Eversnacks, actually. He was off the track, and he went way too deep into the chicane at turn 3. So that's not what he'll want. Vexit sniffing around on the back of Kurz, having to take to the right-hand side, and Kurz shutting the door in the chicane. And Vexit just about getting away with that, putting his nose in where really he couldn't. Etney all over the back of Pixel as well as they come up towards Senior. He's going to draw up alongside, and I think he's going to be passed in the middle of Senior. Is Etney, and Pixel lets him have it, which is a sensible thing to do. We didn't mention, by the way, that those two both have penalties from that safety car that they will have to serve for contact, because they still have to pit.
Absolutely. Now El Sonny goes into the off-track, and Jensen already gains the 6th position since the safety car restart. He's leading that backmarker train and is up to P10 already. Now 3.4 seconds to catch up to Tipsy Bob.
Yeah, as the 2 Haas's swap position. 610 is a ghost. He's not a real car. The Snack's just making up that position, albeit temporarily for the time being. Fastest lap, though, from Danny, which is not surprising. It's the only lap we've had so far of actual racing. As El Sonny pits, he must have taken damage in that earlier incident.
And the 2 McLarens go to the back. Now Thor and Eversnacks are fighting it out for P14 here. Also Kurz, I think, is really close to Bailey, but that's just the Constantino effect in the first sector. It's just not a very fast section of the track, and you get so uncomfortably close. Now it's all about the exit, and it looks like Bailey has gotten a bad one at that. So now Kurz, he smells blood, and he's gonna try and go for that. Tucked into the slipstream of his teammate. Can he find the inside line?
Yep, I would imagine that he'll be pulling out here to go alongside. Well, Bailey thought about giving him the old chop there, but decided, I think, sensibly not to and just lets him have it, as Bailey surely will have picked up a warning for cutting the inside of the left-hander.
And Kerr's up
Might
to
be able to get
third.
him on the exit, but yeah, Kerr's looks like he is good for that one. Vexit as well, sniffing around just behind, so Bailey's got to stay on his toes here.
Yep. Vexit is the hunter. And they ahead are the prey. And I don't know if he got away with that without a warning. Vexit putting 4 wheels off track, but you saw he did the thing where you straighten your steering again, you drive a little bit off track, you lift off a little bit, you don't really gain time, game doesn't give you a warning. I think he intentionally did that. I don't know if it worked though. But that's...
Yeah, Kerr's very fast, all over the back of Icewind now, and a little bit further back, just to draw your attention to the fact, we're talking about SLR traditions earlier. Well, Fox and Tipsy are about to have a scrap, so that's a fun SLR tradition as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and they always are so nice and chat about it with each other, you know? It's
Yeah. Always good banter between Fox and Tipsy. We love to see it. Fastest lap of the race from Kerr, so yeah, he is absolutely on a charge, just despite overtaking Bailey on that last lap, so he's got the bit between his teeth, going after Icewind here for P2, and Icewind in danger of, I was going to say in danger of dropping out of DRS, but of course it's raining, so that doesn't matter, but in danger maybe of losing touch with Danny. As I say that, Danny makes a mistake and loses a couple of tenths.
yeah, he's not really able to break free from his pursuers. Now Icewind with a big moment there, going onto the throttle out of 6, and he pays the price right away. Kerr's on the charge, and he's now in P2. Right ahead of the battle group, where Vexit is not able to find his way past Bailey and has to go really deep into the chicane on the back of the Mistral straight.
Yeah, plenty of time for Vexit to get this done, but he can't be doing things like that put his car at risk. He'll know that, and yeah, Icewind having a moment there on the exit of 6, which is not where he'll want to have a moment. He's got a history of crashing there, unfortunately.
Jensen finds Tipsy, and Sonny pits, so that's what's going on in the moment. Jensen has been able to close that 3-second gap that I was talking about just a few laps ago, and since the safety car restart, he's been absolutely flying. Now the next one is Fox, then Pixel, and then Etney. I wonder how far he can go hungover.
Yep, he's making his way through, and certainly has got a lot of pace and slightly fresher tyres than everyone else on that Ferrari. Not that that will really make a difference. Still raining as we come through to start lap 7, and another fastest lap of the race from Kerr. And yeah, he's right on the back of Danny now as well. So a lot of pace in that Aston Martin, albeit with a long way to go in this race, but Kerr's certainly showing that he's got the pace to be at the very front in Tier 1.
Absolutely, 4 tenths to go, and Danny's gonna be nervous about that one. Just one mistake is all it takes for Kerr to take the chance and go for it. We've seen him do it twice now. Bailey and Icewind both got really wiggly coming out of the left-hander we are approaching right now. Danny does get it done well though, and Kerr was not able to stay close within that first sector. Well, Dirty, it does kind of play a little bit of a role, so maybe that's how he dropped a tenth, but it's not, you know, it's not too bad. He'll be able to bounce back, I'm sure.
Yep, absolutely right. Vexit all over the back as well. We know Vexit is very fast. That was a mistake from Icewind. Yeah, Bailey right on the back now of that Alfa Romeo. What's the battery situation? They're both running out fairly quickly, both at about 30%. So Bailey will want to get this done sooner rather than later. And has it stopped raining? I believe it stopped raining as Kerr runs very wide in the right-hander, but again gets away with it.
No more rain. You're right. Just everyone look at the halo. You don't see any, you don't see any rain on that, and that's kind of how you see that it stopped raining in my experience. And now, well, we'll be awaiting some grip losses. Wow!
Into the hairpin, and it almost looked as though Bailey let him have that one.
Oh, he doesn't get the grip. He doesn't get the grip, so Vexit just takes 4th out of nowhere in the final corner. Well done to him, and now he gets to try and get past Icewind, the thing that Bailey was not able to do. Maybe Vexit can accomplish it.
Yeah, I don't know. Bailey either was asleep or he was quite happy to let Vexit go. I don't necessarily blame him if he wanted to let Vexit go. Try and follow him through the traffic maybe, but certainly that is a possibility. We have Marion in the pits who's trying hard tyres immediately, and I'm not going to lie, I think that might be a tiny bit early. We'll see exactly what the situation is with him and whether he's able to get the power down at all.
And as a little bit further down the order, Dragon and Tipsy are fighting it out on the back of Astro Boys. Astro Boys also recovering well, basically just following the trails of Jensen, even though Jensen has been able to clear him by 2.5 seconds. Now, Dragon in the AlphaTauri, trying to find something on the inside. Also, Marion, as you say, won't be able to.
Because he looped it on the exit of turn 2. It is too wet for hard tires at the moment.
Yeah, I feel a retirement. Incoming and
penalty.
Oh man.
Well, we've seen him run wide a couple of times, and that's the... Oh, and El Sunny retires, and that is... Is that a crash? No, that's a pit lane retirement from El Sunny, so he's out of the race. And we're down to 16 runners.
I feel like the other McLaren's about to follow suit, so... Oh, yeah, we've got another off. Eversnack's looping it, and the Mistral chicane. He's also got another...
Sorry, I was going to say, Kerr's getting that penalty means that he is in, if not trouble, then certainly he is going to be struggling to overcome the leaders now, because he'll need 3 seconds as well as passing everyone on track. Vexit on the back of Icewind. Icewind beginning to lose touch with the front 2. We have yellows in Sector 1 for some reason, not exactly sure why. Maybe that's Marion, in fact.
And even though it's stopping to rain, Kerr's just absolutely flying. But that first sector, I feel like he's really good in the third sector, because he even set a purple time in the last lap. But in the first one, he just always keeps losing like 2 attempts to Danny, and that is why he doesn't get past Danny. He was able to just slice past the others very quickly. But Danny's got that first sector nailed, and he doesn't make the mistake out of turn 7. So that's why Kerr's is struggling to get past here, I think.
Yeah, Eversnack's having major struggles in the damp conditions.
To the inside of Icewind!
That was a super dicey one, my goodness. And Icewind decided to contest it, but Vexit was having none of it as Eversnack's DNFs. Unfortunately for him. Oh no, spinning as Icewind, and onto the barrier, and he loses a wheel, and that's the end of his race. Just on traction, Icewind not able to keep it under control. We got a safety car.
Who pits now?
Oh no.
That's so painful. Danny pits, Kerr's pits, Vexit pits, Bailey's gonna get... Yeah, he's gonna get held. Imagine the rain doesn't stop fast enough and it's still gonna be wet at the end of the safety car. But yeah, that's a sensible decision, I think. So, bad news for Bailey. But Edney's far behind.
What tyres you put on? So Vexit's put mediums on. I think mediums are the tyres to go for, because they're so much faster in these damp conditions than the hards, and you can get them to the end if you are able to conserve even just a little bit, especially with the 2 laps of running under safety car. So I think everyone's going to put mediums on, and everyone so far has put mediums on.
Let's see what oh yeah, Bailey's going to be fine because Edney has to serve a 5-second time penalty, and that means he doesn't lose a position, even though he did get double stacked behind his teammate Kerr's.
Etney and Fox both going for hards, everyone else for mediums, so very interesting decisions from those two.
Oh man, Etney with a massive moment coming out of the pit lane there. Probably just showing us that we are not quite past the crossover point, but we might well be in just 3 laps of time when the safety car comes in. Or 2.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Fox's pit exit as well, and there's a lot more grip than there was when Marion tried to do it a moment ago, so I think we are going to be in effectively dry conditions by the time the safety car comes in, which will be another couple of laps. So yeah, I think it could be a fun race. We got Etney on the hards, and that might end up being a good decision after all, because at the end of the race they might well be faster than the mediums.
6:10 to put himself on softs.
Yeah, I think that's the AI doing AI things.
He's disconnected. Oh yeah. He's a ghost, I remember. A ghost!
Well, we're a third of the way through this race now, and we've lost a third of the cars. Very interesting.
I like the thinking there, but unfortunately, I don't think it works quite that way, because we already had lost 3 cars 80 meters into the race, so I don't think it's I don't think it's linear, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think probably we'll have some cars that manage not to crash between now and the end.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, we've lost 7 from the 20 that started. And we're going to have a couple of laps of safety car running. Thor's going to manage to make his way up to the back of the field as well. And yeah, Iceman will be kicking himself because he, after that qualifying effort, and now that it's dry especially, he'll have been in a very good position. He seemed to have a very good pace in the dry, but unfortunately just overdoing it in the wet. How long is it going to be? It's going to be, what, a 16 lap, I think. 16 lap stint on the mediums, which seems doable, but they'll be struggling by the end.
Gonna get another lap behind that beautiful Aston Martin safety car. You know,
Yep.
we can't have a functioning game, but we can have a beautiful safety car. It's good.
3 Aston Martins in the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
So, good stuff from Kurz and Bailey.
And Bernd Mailänder, don't forget him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just absolutely doing his job. 100% of what his employers expect. Perfect.
Pretorius says, if I was Thor, I would pit for wets now and then start a thunderstorm. I like that thinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's out of his element because the Roaring Thunder's gone. Well, maybe he'll hammer his way past the others. I don't know.
So yeah, 16 lap stint. It's got completely dark here. It gets dark at this time in the UK at the moment, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna go and turn my light on. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he might be a god, but it's fine that he's last. It's not his day after all. It's Saturday, not Thursday. You know. I'll see myself out. Bye.
Not Thursday.
Thursday. Weekday Discussions returns. Brought to you by the SLR Tier 1 commentary booth. We've got 16 laps to go in this race, and Danny
Bailey. I was going to say Bailey and Tipsy were challenging us to match them with our commentary today. I think with that banter, I think we've managed it. I think that was
in what regard?
That was top quality. Well, I mean, just bringing the fire and the banter to SLR. Weekday discussions are absolutely top tier. Here we go with the restart.
Let's go! We've got Danny on his charge, and he just seems to get away really well. I wonder how well Vexit and Kurz are going to manage. Looks like Bailey's off the back a little bit, and then the two hard runners of Anthony and Fox are going to struggle on this restart. Now, Kurz actually able to get through turns 1 and 2 really well. 4 tenths between him and Danny. Will we be able to observe the usual 2/10 loss in those corners for Kurz?
I look like he got away with it there.
Absolutely flying.
I think it's completely dry to me. Looks,
yeah, it does.
100% dry. And that's the situation. We got Etney, who on those hard tyres already fallen off the back of Bailey. So it might be a little bit more of a struggle for the hard runners than we thought. Jensen also climbing all over the back of Fox. They come up towards the chicane. Kurz not quite close enough to have a look at Danny, especially without DRS this time.
Yeah, Vexit also setting himself up, so Danny in a very uncomfortable position. I mean, sure, he's in the lead, but he's got so many quick drivers right on his tail. The one comforting thing is that Kurz has got that penalty, but, the thing that eliminates that is that Danny, he rarely gets no penalties. I don't know if he's worked on that, but it is oh no, he spins just out of nowhere. Danny bottles it, and Kurz takes the lead as Danny faces the wrong way. Oh man.
Danny, what are you like? Oh my goodness me, all the way down to P12.
Same heartbreak. I can't. Copy crashes right away. Icewind somehow, unfortunately, dies, and Danny finds a way to spin himself for no reason. Nothing's changed. It's great. Well,
yeah,
it's not
fastest
great,
lap of the race occurs, and that is a dry lap time, a 31.9. So yeah, we do have completely dry weather in France, and I assume for the rest of this race we will have as well. 2 seconds now, the gap between Bailey in 3rd and Etney in 4th. Dragon and Pixel having a little bit of a scrap. Pixel, in fact, has gone all the way around. Seems to have his front wing, but is rejoining and has lost several seconds there. Didn't see what happened, but certainly Pixel lost out.
Yeah, Dragon's got a little bit of a scrap. Pixel's got a big scrap, So, Yeah, he right to the back. Oh no, there goes Thor. I just find that name incredibly comical. Because I just imagine the Norse god just not being able to wrestle a car around the track.
And Vexit very close to
oh boy,
very close to the back of Kurz. And this could be a spicy one. We got 3 Mercs
Kurz not
in the top 3. Kurz not really respecting the racing line there.
Yeah.
But managing to get around nonetheless, and Vexit very close indeed to the back. Fox and Jensen also having a little bit of a scrap. Jensen on the mediums has managed to overtake the Alpha Tauri.
So good going from Fox. It's probably going to be faster towards the end of this race when the mediums are going to fall off the cliff a little bit. So if Fox can just hold himself around where he is now, maybe Astro can get past, but if Fox holds himself in the top 7 and then regains positions towards the end, he could be in really good shape today. And
absolutely.
DRS enabled, and that is gonna be an uncomfortable truth for Kurz, who's got 3 seconds of a time penalty, and 6 seconds, and he's now gonna have Vexit all over his back, as Vexit is asserting some dominance, and is probably gonna try and attack as early as this lap.
Yeah, certainly got the pace as Kurz, but that inconsistency, and we've spoken before about drivers who aren't necessarily experienced at this level, and it's just usually the consistency that gets you, and that seems to be the case at the moment with Kurz. We know he's got the pace, but not quite able to keep it on the black stuff for the first half of this race, and yes, 6 seconds is a lot of penalties.
And there was a really good run out of 6, which means that Vexit can't even think about a move, even with that DRS, so Kurz is probably gonna keep Vexit busy for a little bit longer. With that pace, Kurz probably going to be able to clear loads of people out of that 6-second window, but I doubt he'll be able to with Vexit.
Jensen all over the back now of Etney. He'll have much the better tyres for a little while at least. And he'll need to clear Etney as well, because he needs to sprint away and sprint towards the front 3. And we'll keep an eye on that. Vexit, meanwhile, very close indeed to that Aston Martin as they come through the final corner. Is he going to have a look into turn 1? Tries to get the run out. Kurz got a very good run out, that despite being on the curb. But not quite good enough though. Kurz covering the inside half-heartedly, but he knows the deal is up, and through goes Vexit to the lead.
He's just doing what he had done before the break, and he's still on that level, which is very impressive to see. I mean, I just wonder who still league raced in that time frame, because some leagues I guess weren't shut down, and most were. So maybe some people might have just really gotten an even bigger advantage by tryharding even without any league racing in those 4 weeks, while the others have been a little bit rusty now. Anyways, Kurz is actually coming back at Vexit after a really good first sector. Vexit goes way deep, and he's gonna try and rejoin somewhere, and he does so right behind Kurz, and now even Bailey. No, Bailey's not there. So yeah, Kurz retakes the lead.
Big mistake from Vexit. He got away with it as well. I was half expecting an instant 3-second penalty for him, but he didn't get one. Presumably got a warning. I'll check that. I'll see what his situation is with warnings. But yeah, it was a major mistake there. He ran very deep into the corner. Somehow got away with it. He didn't get a warning for that, and he only has 1.
Danico takes a position of Dragon there, who is still fighting the side-by-side with Tipsy. And now Dragon gonna hold the inside. Is gonna try and lunge ahead of Tipsy at the apex. Manages to do exactly that. So Tipsy will have a hard time fighting back in the Alpine. And so Dragon keeps up P9 after he's lost P8 to Danny.
Yep, good stuff between those 3. Danny trying to make his way through the field. Next target is Fox, who's on the hards. And Jensen, I missed Jensen passing Etney as well, but that happened, I think, at the back straight last lap. And he's up to P4 now, 4 seconds off the front 3, who still are in formation. It's the 2 Aston Martins and the Mercedes of Vexit, as both Ferraris within 3 seconds of each other get themselves 3-second penalties.
Very well timed. Ferrari running like a well-oiled machine as always. You know, perfectly coordinated failure. Anyways, yeah, there goes Vexit, as you say. He's gonna take the inside line on that one. He just needs to catch himself before at the end of the track. Does exactly that. And now Kurz maybe on the acceleration. Oh, he gets a really good run out of the chicane and is going to try and take Vexit around the outside. Vexit, though, is certainly going to defend that one. And I think Kurz is forced the wide way round, maybe into the Busso. No room for a lunge. Vexit takes the position and defends it very well on the counter-attack.
Yep, good stuff from Vexit, and his challenge now is going to be to get away from Kurz, who he knows is very fast indeed, albeit with those penalties. And Bailey's challenge is to either engineer a switcheroo or do some sort of magic trick to get himself ahead of his teammate, because he certainly needs to do that. Kurz again running wide on the exit of the last corner, but got away with that.
I was getting a bit too excited for Pixel overtaking the ghost car. As 610's magical AI brain tells him to go into the pits. Let him go.
Yeah, I think it'll be more softs and then a final stint for the AI.
Astro.
Mistake from... well, yeah, that was a mistake, wasn't it, from Fox, and Astro managing to get through, albeit with those 3 seconds of penalties.
Yep, that was my fault. I went on board with him. You know, I didn't need to, but I did. Sorry, Astro. Oh, there goes Kurz!
Oh, that was a little bit dicey.
Big overspeed.
Moved to the inside from Vexit, but Kurz managing to get it stopped for the chicane. And Vexit really trying to get the power down on the exit. It's a really good scrap between these two. And Kurz at the moment seems to have it. They have very similar batteries. Bailey is struggling a bit on his battery towards...
Vexit looks interested in an offline, and there goes Kurz very deep into the corner. And yeah, as you say, switcheroo from Vexit. He's gonna just force his way past. Perfectly done from him. He seizes the opportunity as soon as it arises. Well done, Tim. Kurz losing that position once again. 10 laps to go.
Danny now all over the back of Fox, and there's a little bit of a train behind Fox, in fact, who's on the hard tyres still. And we're getting towards the point where the hard tyres will be competitive with the mediums, with Etney sort of hanging on to the back of Jensen for the last lap or so. And as we get towards the end of this race, it might be that those guys have an advantage. Here comes Kurz again, though. He's right on the back there of Vexit into turn 1, but decided not to go for it. Danny is nearly out of battery, which is going to make his job a lot harder of getting past Fox, because Fox, of course, also has DRS from Astro.
I was potentially picking up another warning, I'm not sure. And getting solid acceleration out, and now he's tucked into the slipstream. How good is the straight line? The straight line is amazing as he just pulls to the inside with that DRS, with the slipstream, and perfectly leapfrogs Vexit into the Mistral chicane. Well done.
Yep, nice move again from Kurz, and really good scrap between these front two. Bailey just keeping a watching brief at the moment. He knows that unless something goes very badly wrong, he's going to be at worst second. Being second behind Vexit is absolutely no disgrace. That's a very good performance indeed. It's Danny again, right on the back of Fox here. He's going to have a look into Lebose. That would be a brave one. He decides not to, but he does scare Fox off the apex, and Danny does get the position. That was nicely done.
iRacing move.
Yep.
He does the classical maneuver, and it works out to his favor. Still making up for that mistake early on into the race. P7, probably not going to be happy with that, but that was a good move, so can be proud of that one at least. Back to the front, half a second separating each of them, and Vexit is planning his next attack.
Etney now gaining on Jensen for that last lap, so I wonder, although Jensen has fallen off the back of the front three a little bit, so maybe it was a mistake, but maybe, and Pixel retires, that's in the pits.
Okay.
So no prospect of a safety car. Unfortunate for Pixel, who was having a decent race. As Fox and Dragon also struggling.
Kurz all over the shop, gets it all wrong there in turn 7, and that allows Vexit to just give us another action replay of the move we've seen plenty of times in this race so far. Vexit back into the lead.
Yep, and Kurz, well, they're both in fact saving a little bit of battery.
Oh, Danny! Danny gets past Astro.
Danny on Astro.
Yep.
Nicely done. So maybe Danny can even get to the back of Etney, although with those tyres it's going to be a little bit of a struggle now. He's also got no battery. And Etney now has DRS from Jensen, so I just wonder if he's going to be... I wonder, I mean, I know he's going to be faster at the end of the race, I just wonder how much faster he's going to be, and whether even he could maybe challenge the front three, even though they're just over 6 seconds ahead at the moment.
I think Kurz is probably in trouble because of that those 6 seconds. So that could still... I mean, there is an angle for Etney where he could still get onto the podium. Maybe. But it's an outside chance.
So how have I managed to... I alt-tabbed away, and then I alt-tabbed again, expecting it to go back to the game, and it didn't. So, unlucky. I'm back in now. Vexit has done another fastest lap. And he's got Kurz still there for company, so within a second, within DRS. Bailey also hanging on gamely to the back of those two. But Bailey at the moment looks like he's just struggling a little bit for pace. I mean, struggling relative to those two cars in front of him who are extremely fast.
Kurz has got the suck!
Surely not, surely not. No.
He was thinking about it. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it, and I wonder how worried Vexit was. We've seen him a couple of times just driving in his mirrors a little bit and going a little bit deep when he didn't need to.
Kurz has got the straight line speed. I don't know if that's the slipstream. It probably is. Like 510? 5
Yes.
kph?
Yeah, Slipstream and DRS, I think both of those
Without
things.
DRS. Without DRS.
Without DRS.
Out of
Okay.
the chicane into senior. Kurz was capping at 302 and Vexit at 298. So 5 kph difference. Roughly.
Yeah, that could well have been Slipstream then. But Bailey now out of DRS. Did he get it this time? Yes, he did. So, but he's still going to be struggling, I think, to hang on to that DRS. Vexit and Kurz going to be... that's a good decision, I think, from Kurz. Oh, he got a warning there, though, I'm sure, in turn one.
Likely.
So we'll see exactly what his warning situation is. Yeah, he's on 8 warnings now, and that was indeed a warning in turn one. So could be another penalty soon for Kurz if he doesn't pay particular attention to that. Meanwhile, the battle for 4th on track is, I think, about to resolve itself because Etney is, well, it looks like he's close enough this time to be at least thinking about a move on.
Kurz is coming, and this time he's going into turn 8, down the inside, and he retakes the lead, at least on paper. Well, on the track, not on the not on, how do you say?
The score sheet or the time sheet or that sort of thing. Yeah.
What was that? He just
and there it is, indeed is. That was a silly one.
Yeah. And now he goes deep.
9 seconds now for Kurz.
He goes deep. Keeps it ahead of Vexit though. Vexit's gonna be thoroughly annoyed by this. But I mean, he's fine as long as he doesn't get a penalty for himself. He's gonna be completely okay with Kurz just, wrestling the car around the track, getting himself penalties even if it holds Vexit up. He's gotten some decent action out of it, so I don't think... I actually think Vexit's going to be fine with it, but
and this is Vexit's experience coming into play, even though he's only a young guy, a very young guy, but certainly showing his smarts because doesn't throw it up the inside in that situation when a lot of other drivers would have. I think he certainly could have made the move stick, but he says, you know what? It's 9 seconds of penalties. All I have to do is stay ahead of Bailey to win this race, and that's all I'm going to try and do. I'm not going to put my car at risk unnecessarily. So good stuff from Vexit, and showing exactly why he is the championship favourite. Once again, they come onto the back straight. 6 laps to go.
Exactly. Now I wonder how this is going to play out. Kurz already pulling way to the inside and puts more than half of his car off to the side there. And 20 kph advantage to the side of Vexit. But not enough because that sector 1 wasn't good enough. Now he tries to get it pinned down after the chicane on the back straight into the slipstream through senior. Can he maybe open up the gap again in Busseau? Can he force Kurz into a mistake? Kurz holds the inside line again, so it's going to compromise his run. He goes a little bit deep, but I don't think Vexit is going to find a car's width on the exit to slip through. Exactly, he doesn't, so Kurz stays in the lead for another lap. We're slowly running out of time in this race, but it doesn't really matter for Vexit, as you say. The penalties are just going to come back to bite Kurz. The thing, though, is that Vexit would surely love to have Bailey between himself and Kurz. No, at the other
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, he would. Again, Kerr's getting the traction. Vexit not quite getting the traction onto the front straight. So 5 laps to go this time. Kerr's holds the lead on the track for the time being. He has that 9-second penalty. And one thing that is meaningful is that Jensen is quite a bit slower now than the front 3. And he's holding up Etney as things stand. Etney not quite close enough to have a look into turn 1 this time. He'll really want to get it done on the back straight, though, because he really can't afford to be held up too much longer by that Ferrari.
He needs to make his way past now. The gap to the lead is now 9 seconds. So exactly now he's slipped out of that penalty window from our race leader Kurz, which means that Etney, if he passes Jensen and then just gets a little bit of ground on the leader, then he can still be on the podium. But it doesn't look like he's able to use his tire advantage on Jensen, though. Now in the slipstream with the DRS, he's gonna use some of that battery. He dives to the inside line, but Jensen just gives the space on the inside, and yeah, sovereign defense. So.
Yeah, that was very well defended by Jensen. He knows that...
oh, spin! Fox!
Necessarily, or Fox is... yeah, Fox was fighting with Astro and seems to have gone around. So I imagine there was some contact between the two of them there. Astro and Dragon now side by side. And that all was almost a huge crash as Dragon somehow manages to save it. I was on board with him there. He got very sideways at 180 miles an hour. But somehow got away with it. A very, very good save.
Yeah, Jensen probably getting a fat paycheck from Kurz. He's doing all of the work for the Aston... Well, not all of the work, but a big work for the Aston Martin to keep him on that podium, as Etney is just not able to find a way past. So the Williams driver on those hard tires struggling for ground.
Yeah, I imagine that it'll be this time because those tires will be a lot better now, and he does have a huge battery advantage. Jensen almost out of battery. Etney with 40% or thereabouts, so he's just got to be somewhere in the neighborhood coming out of turn 6 and he'll be completely fine, but just can't be getting sideways or anything like that. And through the first sector he goes. Is he close enough? Didn't get a great run out, but I suspect that if he were to go for it, this would be good enough. He's not going for it though, so
yeah, he's
just content to stay behind. Yeah,
this is doesn't put himself at any risk.
I wonder if he even knows, because he won't have it on his relative, that Kurz is actually in play for him at 9 seconds of penalties. So it may be that he doesn't know. And if that's the case, that's unfortunate, as Vexit has a good look there at Kurz, but again decides not to go for it on the inside of Le Beausset. With 3 laps to go as they will cross the line this time. What's the penalty situation for Kurz? Because he's still trying hard and he's still extending the track on occasion. He's now on, what is that? That's, I think, 10 warnings. So he's got a couple in hand, or we've got 1 in hand for before the next penalty.
Absolutely. Vexit doesn't look too combative. 3 laps to go. Just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose that position. But of course, it's gonna be in Kurz's mind. You know, my teammate would profit if this fight gets a little bit rough. So he's not gonna give this up easily. Bailey Thompson might just profit off of Kurz's defense. A little bit of a lunge to the inside from Vexit there, and now needs to get the foot down. But Kurz just able to find so much speed here now. With a pretty full battery, though, I can't imagine Vexit not going for this. He's tucked into the slipstream. He's got the battery, the DRS, the overspeed, the inside line, and he's got P1 on track now. And, you know, with 50% more battery than Kurz, he should be able to make this work. Also, Etney makes it work on Jensen at the same time. So, 2 moves, and Etney is about, like, 2/10 adrift off the podium. And he'll know
he
now.
Certainly is.
He'll know.
And he will know. It's very close indeed between himself and Kurz. So now that Etney has done that, yeah, he's got 3/10 to make up. And with these two fighting, I imagine that's not going to be that tall an order for him. He's got much better tyres than Kurz does. And certainly Kurz has, at the very least, a rolling roadblock of the Mercedes of Vexit in front of him. And with 2 laps to go as they cross the line, and again Kurz getting excellent traction off the final corner. 3/10 is the gap. Is he gonna use the battery here and have a good look into turn 1? He doesn't even need to use the battery because he's got enough speed, and he decides not to, because I guess for tactical reasons. So Vexit again just saving that battery, making sure that he's got enough for the last lap to run most or all of it in overtake mode if he needs to.
None of those position changes at the front could be a problem for Kurz if... Oh, that's an extension and a half. And those could be a problem if he loses so much time that Etney just gets the profit. But Etney... I think he's just about inside the window. Now Kurz goes for the outside, and that's a very risky move. That's going to cost him time. Yeah, that was an interesting attempt. Could have certainly worked. Vexit holding against it strong, though. Nails that corner and keeps his lead on the road.
He went so deep into that corner, Kurz. I was convinced he was going to spin, but managed not to, and even managed to make the corner. Tipsy and Fox fighting. That's what we love to see. Fox taking P9 from Tipsy, but Tipsy with the no penalties, so he's going to be okay with that one, I think. In the meantime, Etney is now in range. He is on the podium as things stand. The gap between himself and... Oh, it's really close, though. It's 8.9 at the moment, 8.8.
Aye.
As they come through to start the 27th and final lap of this French Grand Prix, and much as it was before the F1 lockdown, it looks like Vexit's race to lose.
Yeah, Etney just about inside of the window now, but it's certainly not over for Kurz. If he finishes right on the back of Vexit, then he would have it. And he's actually... It's a balancing act right now, like they are... oh, man. They are both jumping.
He's got DRS, of
it.
course. Yeah, Kurz has DRS, so that's going to be worth quite a lot. That's a good half second that he'll have on Etney as far as straight line speed is concerned. And Kurz now, with Vexit in front of him. Vexit is using all of that battery, or as much of that battery as he possibly can. As they come out of the chicane down the back straight. Bailey has now lost touch with those two, but Bailey is secure in that second place. And yeah, Kurz has the gap over Etney at the moment. That's the situation. 2.5 tenths in the final sector. Can he stay in range as Tipsy passes Dragon?
And he does so well. I don't even think there's gonna be a necessity to call Foxy tonight. Oh no, it was Dragon. Sorry, I thought it was Fox. Oh,
Kurz getting another 3 seconds. What happened there?
Yeah, that was
and
unnecessary.
is Vexit holding Kurz up? What's happening here?
I don't think so. He's now while Vexit does win, it hasn't changed. He's still on top, and then it is Kurz second on the road, gonna be fourth on the standings, and Bailey Thompson with a really good second position. Etney with that penalty from Kurz on the last lap gets himself a podium. Well done to him. Jensen hung over P5. You know, can't complain. Danico, solid recovery, but not what he will have wanted after what could have been in that first stint. Astro Boys then finishes 7th. He had a big crash on our first race start and wasn't really able to bounce back from that, so it's P7 to him. Tipsy fights himself to 4 points. Dragon gets P9, and then Fox rounds out the top 10 with 1 point.
Yep, absolutely. And Thor and the Ghost of 610 are our final 2 finishers. So 11 finishers really, because 610 doesn't count. Out of the 19, I guess, that started the race.
Yeah,
it was a race of attrition.
He doesn't count. If he was counting, he would be called 6 and 7.
True.
I'm sorry.
So that was the Tier 1 French Grand Prix, and that was a fun time. I enjoyed that. It was a good scrap between the two at the front.
Yep.
Vexit was deserved winner. Who are we going to give Driver of the Day to? That's the question.
This question hasn't gotten any easier since the break. It's still dreaded. I have no idea.
Well, I kind of wanna give it to Bailey, and here's why. It's just because, like, you mentioned it at the start of the race, right? There are a bunch of cars at the front who have a reputation for, driving a little bit erratically and, doing some things that might lead to their retirement, or, they're dropping down the order. And that happened with a few of those cars. But the one car that it didn't happen to was Bailey, and he didn't even get a single penalty. He stayed very patient the whole race. I assume he knew that he couldn't beat Vexit, but he knew that as long as he stayed where he was, he would be in. Well, I mean, he was guaranteed second place basically, and that was exactly what he got. It was just a really good like race management performance from Bailey, and I would give him driver of the day.
I think I agree with that. That makes perfect sense. He always goes on those streaks. Like it's, I mean, he's done that. I think last season where he won the second race, and then he's basically retired from 90% of races afterwards. And you know, I was commentating on another league where he's also driving, and there he also won the second race, and then he went on a 6-race retirement streak. So it's just nice to see, to have him finally within the top 2 even on the podium again, just finishing a race like that. And he didn't like go into the mode where he's like, oh my god, I could win this race if I just, and then inserts his nose somewhere and dies and is sad about it. No, he calculated it well. Might not have extracted the 25 points out of it, but it was a mature drive and it was a deserved 18 points for him. And I think I agree. Let's give him driver of the day.
Yep. So good stuff. Yeah. Well done, Bailey. It was an excellent drive. Top 2, by the way, combined age of 31 or something like that.
How does that make you feel?
It's fairly depressing, I'm not gonna lie.
I still have 10 years in which I can try and score more than 43 points in one race. Okay, the world's still open for me.
So let's see if anyone wants to talk to us after that one. It was a fun race. We're gonna say hi first of all to who are we gonna say hi to? Should we say hi to our driver? Yeah, our driver of the day, who is Mr. Bailey Thompson.
Wait, what? I'm the driver of the day?
You were driver of the day because I mean, we said at the start of the race that, like, you know, the front 5 or 6 on that grid, there were a few drivers who, you know, we suspected might either bottle it or, you know, do something that caused them to like drop down the order. But you were the one person in that group that didn't do that, and you stayed patient the whole race. It was you know, you knew, I guess you knew the situation, that, you know, you could try and beat Vexit maybe, but even if you didn't, even if you just stayed where you were and chilled, you'd get second place. So that was what we were thinking there. How was it from your perspective?
I mean, I think it was really fun watching them almost take each other out every other lap. I was begging for it, man. Like, Vexit almost went up the inside of turn 11 so many times, and I just thought, oh, this is it, he's gonna die. I'm gonna win, you know? But still, it was just fun to watch. You should have dragged me into the comms booth. It was, I think I got the best view. But I mean, I just sat there.
Our own side reporter.
I think I saw nearly all of it from your perspective. So yeah, I saw exactly what you know, what your perspective on the situation was. It was fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, qualifying was okay. Fox blocked me a bit on my final run, which I don't really care about now. I think I did me and Sharp out after qualifying, but yeah, it's still though. Danny's spin was weird. It was mid corner and it looked like he just lost it.
Yeah, that was what I didn't see it, but that was what Timo said. Yeah, just looped it on the exit or whatever. Yeah, and that's really sad. He was having a great race.
Yeah, he would win up there.
Yeah, he certainly was. But yeah, I mean, are you happy overall with second? I'm guessing you are, because it was an excellent drive.
From a me perspective, yes. From a championship perspective, no. Vexit's ahead of me in the championship. He's the one I need to beat. But that's still P2. I think it's better than what I expected coming into this, and I'm just happy that people bottled it and Kurz had 12 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, yeah. The penalties. Well, I'm guessing that's just inexperience as far as he's concerned. Oh my goodness! So I've just seen copies crash on lap 1. That's unfortunate. We'll show that after this interview, hopefully. But that was really sad. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like the rain, I mean, were you okay in the rain? It looked okay in the rain. For you there, you were able to sort of hang on okay.
Yeah, it was okay. A few shaky moments, especially coming onto the long strand there. Coming down to the chicane, that was very scary. A few times lost it, but apart from that, it was fine. I'm just trying to keep at the front because I think if I fell off from that train when the drag hit, I wouldn't be able to get up that because of the DRS. But the safety car came and just like eliminated that anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
The rain was completely unexpected. The forecast said it was dry, just with like a 50% chance of rain. I didn't realize it would actually rain.
Yeah, we have it set to approximately, not like it's approximate forecast. It's not like accurate 100%. So now Jeff's Jeff's indecisiveness is not a bug; it's a feature.
So yeah, we got Austria next week. It seems like a lifetime ago that we suspended the season, but we're back now. So how are you feeling about Austria?
I like Austria. It's a DRS train, that's what it is, but it's a good track. I think if I can stick with the front like I did today, I think I'd be good for it, especially penalty wise. I think I've gotten a lot better on penalties compared to last season, and it's definitely paying dividends in terms of position.
Yeah, well, no, it was good stuff today, certainly, and yeah, no penalties today is a real achievement around France, and yeah, a well-earned second place.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll let you go, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week after another good result.
Hopefully.
All right, that was Bailey. Do we want to show the copy?
I do wanna. I have not. I don't have a screen thingy set up, but I'm just gonna do that quickly. Screen capture. Which one is the right screen? I guess this one. Boom. Ah, there you go. So this is perfect quality there. We go. I mean, he's just the unluckiest person on Earth, really. We see Astro and Jensen, and yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's quite funny, but it's also
pretty unlucky, yeah.
Incredibly sad. Like I mean, there's not even anything he could have done. Like if he slows down, like he just gets collected as well, because they were like bouncing onto the track, or drivers behind him like don't react properly. So it's just terrible. I don't know how this keeps happening. It's probably like his family's probably cursed by an old Czech witch or something, but I don't know. This is sad. It's the copy experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk to our who ended up being our fourth place finisher today. Hello, Mr. Kurz. That was quite a performance. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy about that. Even though I got the penalties, yeah, it was a good race, I think.
Yeah, I mean, 12 seconds of penalty. We mentioned during the broadcast that I guess the lack of experience in terms of racing at this level sort of means that you maybe pick up those penalties more than other people do. But in terms of your pace, I mean, the pace was extraordinary. What's the secret there? Where did that
magic
come from? Yeah, it was very very impressive.
Just working on my quads and stuff, really helps out with racing. No, but like I don't know, just a lot of practice during the little lockdown we had. Like I don't know, I've put like 50 to 60 hours during that lockdown, and I've just done a lot of time trial or like single player races or multiplayer, and I've just wanted to try get step forward on other drivers. Like comparing to 2020, I've already nearly got more hours than 2020 on 2021. So yeah, that kind of shows how much work I'm putting in.
And are we going to see? I mean, presumably we're going to see you some more in Tier 1 this season, because you certainly have the pace to be at the very front here.
Yeah, and especially with Austria. Austria is a track I'm more confident on compared to France. But yeah, I think definitely see me again here. It was fun racing, especially Vexit, because Vexit's super quick, and he was putting me into a lot of mistakes during the race.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were having fun, and he made one or two mistakes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough fighting somebody like that, because yeah, we know that Vexit is at the very top of the game. So yeah. It was good to see you guys fighting. Did you know, by the way, what the situation was with Etney behind? Presumably you did, right?
I did.
You must have done.
The annoying thing was, like, I kind of got annoyed about. So literally on the last lap in the last 3 corners, around that, it's kind of like a hairpin. I don't know what you call it, but Vexit lost his rear end, and like I got a red arrow of him rejoining onto track. So I like swerved to go off the track to ride the curb to give him some space,
Oh, and that was when you got the penalty.
Yeah, and that's how I
Yeah.
got the penalty, and yeah.
No,
So I probably
unfortunately.
would have finished P3, but oh well. I'm not gonna complain with the P4.
Yeah, it's still a great performance, and yeah, and Austria next week, obviously. So you're feeling pretty good about that one as well, I assume.
Yeah. I think I did time trial, and I'm like 30th or something in time trial. I can't remember. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we'll hope to see you at the front there as well, and we'll hope to speak to you afterwards then too.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, all the best and well done today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, that was Curse. Are we going to speak to Mr. Yeah, I think we are. In fact, we're going to speak to. Oh fuck! Oh dear. Sorry, Curse. I didn't mean to drag you in.
Okay.
Here is Mr. Daniel Corporation himself, who. I mean, again, it's the same story we've had a couple of times, Danny. The pace was fantastic. Just that one mistake ended up being really costly. Just how are you feeling after that? Oh, is he not here?
No,
Oh,
I am. I am. It's just annoying, but it is what it is. Can't do it now.
yeah.
I knew I had that problem in practice, but I thought it was like just fixed with tire pressures that changed, but clearly not.
What happened? Just the back end got away in the middle of the corner.
No, real locks.
Oh, rear locking. Okay, so you lost it on the way in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I lost
unfortunate.
it very early as well. Like,
Okay.
to be honest, it might have been on a downshift as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that can
Oh.
certainly happen if your brake bias is low or whatever, and you
But
downshift too early.
it's all 50 now again, so.
Oh, that's right. It is. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I had some fun coming back through though. I just wanted to do some overtaking after a long breakout, so that's very fun.
Yeah, and you lost none of the pace. The qualifying lap was really good.
Out of nowhere as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, were you thinking it was going to be back of the grid? What was the?
Yeah, fully expected. Like, I thought I was gonna invalidate or something. Again, I don't know.
But yeah,
It
no
was fun
good.
having to ask someone to leave during quali as well, which took up
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because
a good 12 minutes of my time. So
yeah, not only gate crashed the session, but gave everyone the wing settings as well. It's
yeah,
you know.
that's
But
when
yeah.
when they put it in chat. It's what I thought everyone was saying, like 6-10 wings. I was like, okay.
But yeah, Austria next week, which is another penalty fest, unfortunately. But what's how are you feeling before that one?
Cry, would cry. Could probably see about 12 seconds of pens.
Yeah, could be. But I
I
mean, everyone's in the same boat there, right? So you know,
Yeah.
it's,
If I
technically
remember
penalties.
right from another race I did there, pace wasn't actually that bad. It's just practice, and then it should be fine.
Yep. All right. Well, good stuff today. And well done on the comeback. And yeah, we'll hope to see you at the front next week.
I hope so too.
All right. Cheers, Danny. That was Danny, who's ended up recovering today, I think, to 6th place. And just ahead of him on the road, as we interrupt him talking, I just here is his teammate Jensen, and I mean, a good fight back in the end, all the way, I think, to P5.
Yeah.
But just talk us through what happened on lap 1.
I posted it in Tier 1 chat as well, but basically I just got caught out with wheel spin. I was already in 5th gear, and I thought I could floor it at that point. But I had minor wheel spin, so first my car went slightly to the right, where Astro apparently was at that same time. So I bounced a little bit against his car, which unsettled my car even more. So I went to the left without any control, and Curse was there, so I was also sandwiched. And yeah, it was basically ping pong from the right to the left, and then to the right again in the wall. With Astro, we both had no front wing at all anymore, so even turning into corners was a challenge. But yeah, fortunately, I was afraid a little bit that the floor damage would be a lot, and that I would notice it in the in the rest of the race. But fortunately, the car was all fine, and I think I had really good pace in the rain, and I really enjoyed overtaking people back to the front. And yeah, also when it was dry, it was fun to fight. But yeah, unfortunately, picked up a 3-second time penalty, and yeah, I had a feeling I could end the race with mediums, but Edney got me back in the end as well and had no penalty. So I'm content with P5 after all that happened.
Yeah, and particularly from the back of the grid, that was really good. Where do you reckon you could have? Where do you reckon you could have gotten? But for that first lap incident, you reckon you would have been mixing it with the top 3?
Yeah, I think so. With the DRS train, it could have been possible. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe P3, P4, but yeah, not victory. No, but maybe a P2, P3. Depends, but. Oh, I still take 5th place. At least had a lot of fun overtaking people in the wet. Surprisingly, my wet pace was really good, and I had fun overtaking people in the dry as well. Like Fox, I even overtook before the DRS, which was really scary because Fox is always really aggressive. But we had respect for each other, and it was a nice battle. So I enjoyed the race for the rest.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. And,
Yeah.
And Timo mentioned as well you were a little bit hungover before this one.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah, I got home last night and I don't remember what I wanted to do. Maybe make some food or something. But I woke up at like 6 in the morning, laying on my living room couch instead of my bed. So I had to go back to my bed at that stage. And yeah, I was a little bit hungover, but. When you race, at some point you just forget about that. Maybe it costs you a little bit of concentration. Maybe I wouldn't have had the time penalty if I was sober last night. But
yeah, the adrenaline gets you a long way. Sorry.
You gotta enjoy life.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly show the race start on the stream because we have that one as well. It's just. It looks like one of those incidents that is just absolutely huge, but I don't even feel like anyone's like particularly at fault. But I don't know. Feel free to take a look.
I own up for it because I started it.
Okay, yeah. So you get a little wiggle, and then there's a car on your inside. You try and dodge it. So you go to the left. There's a car, and then you go off with Astro, I guess, and then collect copy. So yeah, it's like. I mean, it's like not one of those bad incidents. It's just car control and a wet race start basically. It's
Copy says don't drive
drunk.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Copy and Jack.
I was sober, Copy. You don't stay drunk for 12 hours later. You killed 2 brothers on track today. Killed 2 brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Copy can kill me next time.
Well, it's been a few weeks since we've had a race. It's just good to get everyone racing again. It's nice to.
Yeah, and we have to hope people just stay. So let's hope everyone has a fun race next time, so people actually start to enjoy it once again and remember why they are driving.
Yeah, worth mentioning today. Not a single desync issue that I saw today.
I had desync.
Oh, you did. All right. Well, never mind about that then.
If you look at the end of my start crash, you see I had desync with the car in front of me. 610 was his name, but.
Oh right, yeah, but he was a ghost because he'd been told to leave.
Oh, that's why we had the red cross. I had the red cross.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Oh, no, then there was no desync for the rest, so that's a positive for sure.
Yeah, no, that's definitely encouraging. But yeah, how are you feeling about Austria next week?
Austria is a track I don't really like or really go good at, but I know maybe if I practice a bit and stay in the DRS train, I can keep up for a bit. But we have to wait and see. It's easy for me to collect penalties there, especially in the last 2 corners.
Yeah, I think it is for everyone. Well done today, and
thanks.
We'll speak to you again after next week, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for broadcasting.
All right, no worries. That was Jensen. And I think that probably wraps us up, unless
Yep.
anyone else desperately wants to speak to us. But yeah, I think that's
we're
good.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a fun one today. It's good. It's good to be back.
Absolutely, there was some really good action. Even though that, I mean, the on-track fight didn't matter too much for the lead because of that penalty, it was still some absolutely spicy racing. It could have gone wrong any second. Bailey could have still, you know, come back in this if the top two had gotten into the weeds too much. But in the end, you know, some good action. We also had a ridiculous crash right off the start. So I think, you know, it was pretty entertaining. Thanks to everyone in chat that was active. It was very nice seeing people out here supporting the stream. And have a good night. See you next week in Austria. Bye.